to verbal part. So how many scored sections are we getting in verbal? We get 2 scored sections. Each section has 20 questions and you're given 30 minutes time per section. All right. So these are your 3 different question types in verbal. You have sentence equivalence, text completion, and reading comprehension. Now let's look at the structure of a sentence equivalence question. You will be having a sentence with only one blank. Now this is followed by 6 options. We are supposed to pick 2 answers for this blank. So in sentence equivalence, you'll be only having one blank, and this one blank will be followed by 6 answer choices. We need to pick 2 answers for this blank. No partial credits. No partial credits. The 2 choices, whichever you're going to select, must be correct. So you need to basically pick a right fit for the blank. All right. Now, since now you know the structure of a sentence equivalence question, what do you think is important for you to perform well on sentence equivalence? Or in fact, even text completion questions, because there is no much difference between sentence equivalence and text completion. In sentence equivalence, you get only a single blank sentence, whereas in text completion, you will get single blank, 2 blank, or even 3 blank sentences, right? So whether it is sentence equivalence or text completion, the most important thing is you have to be very good in vocabulary. So vocabulary, there are different ways to learn words. It's not just mugging up words, because if you mug up words, you will not be able to remember it or retain it for a very long period of time. So there are different memory techniques, there are different methods to learn words. See, at the end, the most important thing is should be in a position to remember as many words as possible. So the moment you mug up, that is not possible, because unless and until you could recollect daily, you will not be able to remember the meanings of the words. So let's check the different methods. Let me just show you a few methods which we generally follow to teach vocabulary in our training sessions. So let's first look at few words, and then we'll look into the method which we can actually follow to learn the meanings of the words. All right. So laconic, loquacious, then you have soliloquy, you have soliloquy, then you have circumlocutions, right? So all the words are pretty passive words, probably which we don't generally come across in our day-to-day life. Now these are the words which you need to actually adopt various techniques to remember. Now if you observe a common point among all the words, you can see that there is a root which is there. The root word, prefix and suffix method is a traditional method which is generally used to remember most of the words, to generally use to understand the meaning of most of the words. So if you're, the moment you're good in roots, at least you will be able to get closer to the meanings of the words, even if you're looking at the word for the first time. Now, when you look at these words, laconic, loquacious, soliloquy, soliloquy, the common point what you will actually find is lack, lock, or lock. The moment you get the words lack, lock, or loquy, it means the word is speaking something about speech, right? Now, let's look at those words. See, these are the words which we were talking about: laconic, loquacious, soliloquy, soliloquy, and circumlocutions. So we just learned that root lack, lock, or loquy means speech, right? Now, if you look at the word laconic, at least I will be now able to say that the word is speaking something about speech, right? Now, loquacious, the words ending with OUS, they are describing words. These words are used to describe somebody or something, right? So basically on the word lock, you're able to understand that lock is speech. And since you have a suffix OUS, it means the word is describing somebody. So the meaning of the word loquacious is a person who talks a lot, a very garrulous person, a person who talks a lot is loquacious. Now similarly, let us look at this word, somniloquy. Now you know the meaning anyway of loquy, which means speech. Now let's see what is this somni. There are many words in our day-to-day usage what we generally use with somni. For example, let's say insomnia. Insomnia, insomniac, right? These are very familiar words. So what is insomnia? In is not, right? Somni is sleep, isn't it? Now with this, I can actually understand that the meaning of somni is sleep. So let me borrow this root here. So somni is sleep and loquy is speech. So what do you think is the meaning of somniloquy? It is a person who talks while sleeping, right? Now look at the next word, soliloquy. You know the meaning anyway of loquy, which means speech, right? Now when you say soli is to oneself. So speaking to oneself is soliloquy. Then last word, circumlocutions. So loc is speech. What is circum? Circum is round, right? Roundabout talk who doesn't come to the point. That is what is circumlocutions. So this is one method to learn vocab. Right? Now let's look at the other most interesting method, that is, let's see how picture mnemonics. Mnemonic is a memory technique. It's just a funny method to remember the meanings of the words. All right? Now I will be showing you a few slides with some pictures and the word, right? Try to understand what is actually there in the slide. Try to look at the picture, right? Now you can see there are so many trees. People are chopping down the trees and you see a helicopter got stuck in between, right? So why do you think they are chopping down the trees? Why are they cutting down the trees? So you can take the help of the sentence which is there just below the picture. The rescue team had to cut the trees to extricate the helicopter. So why are they cutting the trees? Because they want to extricate the helicopter. It's nothing but they want to free the helicopter from the kind of trapped situation. So from this, we can make out that the meaning of extricate is to free from any kind of difficult situation. Free from any kind of trap. Free from any kind of impediment, right? That is what is extricate. Ostentatious. Now let's see what's happening here. You can see a group of people sitting on a table. They're about to have their lunch or dinner, right? But you have a person who is dressed, probably a chef, but he's dressed in a different way and he's not doing an activity which he is supposed to do. Generally, we don't expect a chef to come, and do all these things, right? Show you some kind of table, do some kind of magic and all. Why do you think he's doing like this? And why do you think he decked himself like that? Why is he wearing goggles? Or why is he doing all these things? Why? Because you can see he's grabbing the attention of all the three people. Now let's take the help of the sentence. Everyone enjoyed themselves as the ostentatious chef served us Austin's tastiest food and wine. Everyone enjoyed themselves as the ostentatious chef served us Austin's tastiest food and wine. Now the word ostentatious in this case is describing this chef. Now what kind of person is he? What is he doing? The moment you see what he is doing, you can actually pick a word that is best suitable to describe this person, right? Ostentatious chef. Why is he decked in this way? Why is he doing all this activity? Because he wants to be showy and he wants to attract people, right? So to showy, that is the meaning of the word ostentatious. You can easily grab the attention of the other person by showing off something, right? That is ostentatious. Now let's get into the topic. Now, see, the reason why we introduced vocabulary is, now sentence equivalence questions and vocabulary must go hand in hand. Now, if you don't know the meanings of the words, there is no point in learning the strategy. If you're good in strategy, if you don't know the meanings of the words, again, there is no point. So it's very advisable for you to learn words. At the same time, you should also focus on the strategy, right? Now, let me just recollect. In sentence equivalence, you will be having a sentence followed by 6 options, right? And how many choices you need to pick? You need to pick 2 choices for the blank. Just let us give a try on this simple sentence. Let's read the sentence. Although most parts of the monument were renovated, The original architecture of the building has remained blank. Now, what is the blank speaking about? The blank is speaking about how is the original architecture, isn't it? Now, how can I predict a word for the blank? I have to take the help of the words or phrases or sometimes even the sentences which are there in the given sentence. He says, although most parts of the monument were renovated, the original architecture of the building has remained blank. Now, what do we generally expect? When any kind of renovation happens, we expect a change, right? But you have a word although. So what does it mean? Something opposite of what you have expected has happened, right? So what do you think can fit in the blank? Although most parts of the monuments were renovated, the original architecture of the building has remained same, remained constant, something which did not change, right? So this is the kind of prediction which is required in your sentence equivalence questions. Now, you will be having options. You will not be having a sentence something like this. You will have a sentence, what you can see on the slide, followed by 6 options. But the moment you look at the options, you will not be able to pick the correct fit. So, you only have to predict the answer first, basing on the different words, phrases, or sentences there in the sentence. You have to give your own prediction, and only then you have to go ahead and pick the choices, right? Okay, now let's take a real GRE question and along with the options and see how we can actually pick answers. Take a minute and try to go through the sentence. Is attractive to worldwide advertisers because it is blank market. So there is no need to tailor advertisements for different parts of the country. What did the sentence say? The sentence is saying that this Britain is attractive to worldwide because it is blank market. You cannot stop reading the sentence here. The moment you do it, something can be attractive because of what? Because of anything. The kind of questions, the kind of options what you get in GRE are in such a way that every word is suitable in the given blank. So you have to make sure that you're reading the entire sentence. So I can't stop or I can't pause the sentence here. Isn't it? Now, let's read further. Britain is attractive to worldwide advertisers because it is blank market. So there is no need to tailor advertisements for different parts of the country. Okay? So whichever reason you're mentioning in the blank, that should be on par with the later part of the sentence. Right? Now, what is said in the later part of the sentence? He's saying there is no need to tailor advertisements for different parts of the country. In general sense, do we need to tailor advertisements? Is tailoring, what is tailoring? Tailoring is nothing but customizing something, right? Why do we tailor advertisements? We tailor something, generally advertisements, they tailor, right? Because in the northern part, one kind of advertisement will go and the southern part takes some other kind of advertisement. Why does all these things happen? Because people are different, isn't it? So tailoring happens because the people are different. But the problem here in the sentence is he's saying no need to tailor. You tailor something when something is different. But in this case, we are saying you need not tailor. When do you need not tailor? When something is not different. Right? Now with this prediction, let us look at the options. Global. Okay, so, Britain can be global, no doubt about it, but we have predicted it as not different because only then it will gel with the later part of the sentence, right? So global, you cannot say not different. So A is eliminated. You're looking for something which says same, similar, not different. These are the kinds of words which we have predicted, basing on which we are looking at the options. Similarly, uncomplicated is again irrelevant. Vast, can be eliminated. Homogeneous. Homogeneous. Homo is something made up of a single thing, right? So, okay, if it is different, we don't call it as homogeneous. We will be calling it as heterogeneous, right? So we have to hold homogeneous as one of the choice. Uniform. When something is uniform, it means it is not uneven. Everything is of a similar type. That is when we will use the word uniform. So you have to hold choice E. Immense. Immensity, we are not speaking about. Right? Now let's place them back into the blank and read. Britain is attractive to worldwide advertisers because it is a homogeneous market. So there is no need to tailor advertisements for different parts of the country. Similarly, when you say Britain is attractive because it is a uniform market, so there is no need to tailor advertisements for different parts of the country. So yes, the choices D and E are the correct fit for the blank.